Activists are blocking vehicle access to Tulip Slaughterhouse in Manchester. This is an act of non-violent direct action to prevent the violent and unnecessary deaths of thousands of innocent pigs who would otherwise have their lives ended here today by being forced against their will into the gas chambers inside this facility. They will scream and thrash in terror as the gas burns them from the inside, until eventually they are rendered unconscious before their throats are slit. We are here to tell the truth about the extreme violence happening in slaughter factories like this across the UK and all over the world, which is both legally sanctioned and considered humane, yet which is kept hidden from the public. We are calling on Tulip to stop all slaughter of animals, and we are calling on the public to go vegan and stop funding this needless violence.
Okay, Grumpy Vegan Grandad here, and I'm on my way to Tulip Meats. Breaking news. I think it's, yeah, straight on. I'm here with Sue, who's kindly picked me up to set me down there, and we're just going to have a nosy, see what's going on. Some activists have chained themselves up outside Tulip Meats and caused a total shutdown. The police are there. So we're going to see how close we can get, see if we can get some footage, maybe go live on Instagram. But we'll see what's happening. So big thank you, Sue, for picking me up. You're a darling.
You're a hero! Excuse me, pal.
Yeah.
Stay back a bit.
Alright, you don't need to touch me, mate.
I'm not touching you, I'm just asking you to move back. Did I touch you? No.
So, Grumpy Vegan Grandad here. I'm with Sam. As you can see, there's some footage, some big stuff going off at Tulip. I often come up here on a vigil, and this was a big surprise to me. Unfortunately, the wife disappeared with the car this morning, and then what pops up? These guys doing some direct action outside Tulip. Now, Sam is the spokesman for these guys. He's not the organiser. They have no organiser. They do it straight off the bat. But I'd just like to ask you, Sam, so what's happening today? What is it all about?
Yeah, so Tulip is a pig slaughterhouse, and it's a slaughterhouse that uses gas chambers. So what's happened today is we've had 11 activists locked on in front of the entrance and exit to this facility, so that none of the trucks can get in or out. So on a typical working day here, there'd be around 3,500 pigs that would be taken inside. Yep. and forced into the gas chambers here in this facility. So thus far that hasn't happened here today. No pigs have gone inside as of yet while these activists have been locked on.
So what if I was to say to you that you're just prolonging the agony? You're going to have trucks, as we've seen. We've got trucks on standby around the area, on industrial estates everywhere. Those guys are all sat on those wagons now. What would you say to people who are saying that you're prolonging the agony?
I don't think those are really valid concerns, and I completely share them. So the activists arrived at 3:30 this morning, and that was a specific time because the maximum journey time for the pigs is 3 hours, and we know that trucks don't arrive here typically until 7 AM. So as soon as activists were locked on, a letter was given to the staff here informing them of what was happening, and politely but firmly asking them not to send any trucks and to unload any trucks they'd already loaded, because they knew at that point there's no way they were going to be getting them inside. So any trucks that we have seen arriving here, our group have done everything that they could to prevent that happening. That's on Tulip. So it actually made me really upset, because they would have known there was no way for those trucks to get inside before they sent those trucks on their way, and they knowingly chose to send those animals on trucks that would simply have to be turned around and go back once they arrive.
Exactly.
But that's not on the activists here today.
No.
They've taken every precaution to stop that from happening. That's on Tulip.
Okay. And how were the police? How quickly did the police get here?
Police were here very quickly, but not in huge numbers, and then shortly after that in huge numbers.
Right.
They did dwindle down a little bit, I think, once they realised that this is a completely non-violent direct action.
Peaceful protest,
absolutely non-violent direct action. While we recognise that violence has its place, this action is non-violent. So the atmosphere has been relatively relaxed, but obviously we have seen the tactical teams now arrive and start cutting people free.
Yeah, we have witnessed a few people sort of being cut free and everything. So what's the next stage? I mean, first of all, this action, it's brought publicity, and that, I'm assuming, is what you wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
To bring people's attention, because the amount of people that actually live in the area did not even know this place existed, because they do exist in places obscure, and they get away with what they do behind closed doors, and nobody seems to know what's going on. But what's the next stage now? What will happen to the guys arrested? Because they've all been automatically arrested and taken to the station. Have you got any contingency plan to sort of get them released?
Well, we can't affect whether or not they're released. That's up to the police, and it's going to depend what they're charged with. But there will be arrestee support in place, so we'll be making sure that when they do get out, there's somebody there to meet them and make sure they're looked after. Make sure they're okay after everything they've put themselves through for these animals. I
mean, it's only a minor. It can only be a minor charge. I mean, it's obstructing a highway, I think, is the max. I can't see any other charge that could possibly be fixed, and hopefully they'll just let them off without charge, and that's game over. And I hope they do. I hope they see the light of day. But what do you think the outcome of this is going to be today? What do you think it's going to do? I mean, I'm looking at posts on social media at the moment, and people are saying what a waste of resources. The police are there wasting the time there. What do you say to those people who are saying these sort of things on social media?
I mean, it is costing the police money. It's causing a pretty large disruption to Tulip as well. Well, good, because they would be killing pigs.
Yes.
And at least thus far today, they haven't been able to do that. So we recognise we are causing inconvenience to people, and you know, we're sorry for that. But ultimately, we're here for the animals. And
I agree totally.
Yeah,
I agree totally.
And we need to look at the victims.
Yes.
And any inconvenience that has been experienced today by commuters who are delayed on their trip, or by workers not being able to complete their shift, pales in comparison to what would be happening to the animals being taken inside.
I mean, to be honest with you, I know the area, and this isn't causing any disruption to traffic whatsoever. If anything, it's just rubberneckers, people who are slowing down to see what's going on. That's the only problem they've got. But listen, Sam, thank you so much for talking to me. I know you've been here a long time, I know you're freezing cold and everything, and it looks like it's going to be game over very, very soon by the looks of it, but I'll keep filming, and
yeah,
well done.
Those are the real heroes, the guys locked on over there, so you know, please go and show them.
I will do, yeah, I've done a lot of filming. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.